Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for finally Friday, July 9th, 2021. The man they call Meathead and the Matthew Thomas to watch in 2021, Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. Happy end of the week to you, Meathead. End of a short holiday week for a lot of people here in the United States that are listening to it. For people that are listening in other parts of the country, maybe it was a short week for other reasons. Maybe you just didn't go into work, or maybe you just decided to make it a short week, or maybe you had some other holiday going on in your country. But yeah, let's it's a shout out to you wherever you're at, whatever country or region or universe that you're in,
or whatever multiverse that you live in.
Exactly.
You might be one of the various Lokis, for all we know.
Yeah, haven't started yet, so keep that to yourself.
That's where I stopped it right there. You might be a Loki variant.
I can live with that.
See, I'm not spoiling anything there. It's just part of the premise. So, speaking of the premise of our show is to try to get our sponsor over. So, Matthew, who's the sponsor?
That would be Collar and Elbow Brand, your supplier of your clothing garments. That's right, collarandelbowbrand.com. Promo code Linda K, LINDAKAY for 10% off.
You almost gave away an extra 10% that Uncle Al did not approve.
That's like when you've got the sticker up for the expired sale, you still have to honor. I guess Al would have to honor if I said something preposterous. Get your free Collar and Elbow Brand and our promo code Matthew Thomas for anything you want free.
It's funny because the other co-host of PWR today, Linda Kay, I don't know if you heard, she'll be in a match. She's got a singles match coming up this week at the Ashepin Firemen's Picnic with Great Lakes Championship Wrestling. So Uncle Al will be in the house at some point, I believe. I'm not quite sure if she'll bump into him this week or maybe next week, but I don't think that'll fare too kindly on the PWR today if you're giving away Collar and Elbow Brand.
No, not at all. And breaking news by Special Commissioner Matthew Thomas, that match is now a hair versus hair match.
Oh, boy. Come on now.
Yeah, that's my, I'm not sure if it's my jurisdiction, but I just made it there. So we'll see how that goes. See how much weight I got.
All right. Well, fair enough. Let's talk a little bit of the news. First off, so Aleister Black debuted on Dynamite on Wednesday, right? He's going by Malakai Black. It was kind of quick since his WWE release, right? Normally, I thought those guys have a 90-day no-compete clause. Aleister Black debuted 35 days after his release. Apparently, there was a clerical error in the WWE that he didn't get his 30-day or 90-day non-compete clause release updated when he was called up to the main roster. So after Aleister Black left NXT and went to the WWE on the Smackdown side or the Raw side, whatever side it was, but he didn't have his contract updated to reflect a 90-day no contact or no competition instead of the 30 days. So he was able to debut 35 days later instead of 90.
That's why you got to make sure you got your ducks in a row and your T's crossed and your P's dotted and your I's in there with the ducks, and that kind of stuff doesn't happen.
Okay, well, hey, Malakai Black is All Elite. So Aleister Black, the former Aleister Black, now in All Elite Wrestling. There is talk that Stephanie McMahon and WWE are meeting with the TV executives to work on Raw and SmackDown's plummeting ratings. I got to be completely honest. This is long overdue. They're pitching ideas. WWE's pitching ideas. We need something. WWE's hitting the road in just over a week's time. And the company is in worse shape creatively than I've seen in a very long time. I mean, again, not only have they cut a lot of talent that they could be doing something with, they also are reusing the same 6 or 7 talents on each 2-hour or even 3-hour show.
Yeah, and just some of the decisions that have been made. If you still have to Hurt Business together, the reaction that could be, I'm not saying you would have quite the response that Paige is getting over in AEW, but that would be the hot staple. And the Hurt Business is Shelton Benjamin chasing around the 24/7 title right now. And that's not to take anything away from Lashley or MVP. I still like what they're doing there, but that was an absolute destruction of an overstable for no good reason.
Yeah. And again, what is the other two of that stable doing right now? Where's Shelton? He's chasing around the 24/7 belt again. And Cedric he's out there. He's working on Monday nights, but I mean, is he doing anything of any significance?
Yeah. And I mean, that they've quintessentially been replaced by, they were replaced by T-Bar and Mace for like a week or two, and then you've gone to the backroom segments with the women. There's
literally
not,
they put the women in place of Shelton and Cedric.
Yeah. There's no way I can cut it that says I see what they're doing here. There's no line that I can draw between the action they're taking and a recipe, to get people over. And here's my concern. Yeah, for a little while, you're going to be able to ride the fact that everybody's back together. You got new people, but you better start putting out some content, man, or you're going to have people back and people are going to be booing that stuff.
Yeah. So they need to work on it. Hopefully that's getting handled as we speak. Hey, former WWE champion CM Punk, otherwise known as Crazy Mariachi Punk. You know how he finished his UFC career at 0-2?
Mm-hmm.
That got updated. He's now 0-1-1.
Well, congratulations to CM Punk on a draw, right?
Punk's loss to Mike Jackson in 2018 apparently was never announced, but apparently it has been changed to a no contest due to Mike Jackson being stripped of the win after he tested positive for marijuana on fight night. But this is the first we're hearing about it publicly. So Punk's not, winless, but he's also not 0-2. Or he doesn't have a win, but he's not 0-2. He's 0-1-1. So congrats to CM Punk. I mean, really, it's a non-story, but it's a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, man. Might maybe give him a little bit of inspiration and lace up those MMA boots again.
I don't think so. Let's talk about Smackdown for tonight, right?
Okay.
Now, the news that came out this week that Jimmy Uso was pulled over for a DUI again. He had one last year. He has one this year. Jimmy Uso was on the the close the show segment with Edge. As Edge has got a piece of broken chair in Jimmy Uso's mouth, choking him out. He is in this main event angle with the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Does Jimmy Uso show up tonight for SmackDown? Was it pre-taped? Yeah, I'm gonna throw a bunch of hypotheticals at you. Was it pre-taped? If he shows up, what does that say about how WWE is handling somebody that was just arrested again for driving under the influence? I mean, the police report is already public record where, Jimmy cooperated, smelled heavily of alcohol, and, said he had, 5 or 6 or whatever amount of drinks. If he doesn't, what does it say about, WWE if they don't suspend him, give him disciplinary action? Matthew, tell me about Jimmy Uso, and does he show up tonight?
I don't think so. And I think that as good of a storyline as it's been, it's the horse they've ridden on for months now, and
multiple segments, 4 to 5 segments in a 2-hour
and and it's starting to feel a little bit like filler and fluff. And you've got Edge and Roman Reigns, and that's a main event in any city, in any era. You can tell that story without having to get anybody else involved. And I don't think he does. And I think that WWE again. And I mean, you got to look at the precedent, and it's not necessarily a great precedent that they've set in the past. But I don't think you risk it, man. I don't think you risk putting him out there for what it's going to look like. And then B, a week going into TV. That's not going to be. Say if you just push forward, man, and you put him out there in front of a crowd, that's not going to go over well.
There's a possibility he shows up on TV tonight, as they may have pre-recorded it. We don't know.
No, it's possible, and then you make the case that they go to the trouble of editing it. I don't know if that's the case or not, but yeah, it's just it's disappointing, man.
This is going to be the last SmackDown from the Thunderdome. Thunderdome is wrapping as we speak. Monday's Raw, the go home from the Thunderdome for Raw, has already been taped. This is the last one. Next week, Friday, SmackDown will be live in Texas the Friday before Money in the Bank.
Hey, I wonder, I think we know somebody who lives in Texas, don't we?
Deep in the heart of Texas. I mean, maybe he lives in DMD. Big DMD.
That's that drug you take, right? It makes you see reptiles and stuff.
Wait, like variant Lokis? Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
I don't know about that, but I know there's a drug that I think you just mentioned that you take, and you go into an alternative universe where you see reptiles, and then like you wake up.
Well, oh well, oh well. I struggle to see how they make a positive spin on this.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel creatively right now. Nothing's really popping us. There was talk that Cena and or Lesnar might show up for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Lesnar is probably not going to happen, and Cena is almost not going to happen as well because he's filming a movie.
Yeah.
What did they do? What did they do to excite
Yeah.
Matthew Thomas in Vegas?
Well, I can give you a couple options.
That was a setup. Go ahead.
Oh, you mean wrestling wise?
I mean wrestling wise, but still setup.
Okay. I got you. Man, no, I have not backed away from the fact that I want it to be Lesnar, Lashley. Cena and Reigns, I'm not all that into. I mean, we've gotten it before, man. That just doesn't seem that special to me. Unfortunately, Lesnar, Lashley does. Now, if we don't have any of those to go from, man, dude, you got to start looking at different angles. I mean, you maybe got a hot shot that thing off of Roman. I tell you, dude, what would get me interested would be Roman lose his title at Money in the Bank, and then you go Edge and Bryan 1-on-1 at SummerSlam. You don't have
bring Bryan back for just that?
That I'd be fine with it. I'd be, because here's what I want to see in Edge's run, man. I want to see the Edge matches that we thought that we'd never get. You know, this guy's been gone for a decade. The matches that you just never thought were going to happen. So that's kind of what I want this Edge run to be. And if Cena's not there, if Lesnar's not there,
you're talking about Edge versus Hornswoggle, right? That's the match you were looking for?
Yeah, I want to see that. So yeah, man. Shoot. Give me Edge and Styles.
Edge versus the Rosie O'Donnell impersonator?
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Okay.
You know, Edge versus the anonymous Raw general manager.
That might
have been during Edge's time, though.
So
you know? that might have been during it. Yeah, I was like 20.
Actually, I thought Edge beat up the Raw
general. Yeah. No, I'm getting my errors confused.
Because I think Edge went after the anonymous Raw GM.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Now that we look back on it, honestly, that would be better than what we have today.
Yeah.
You know, and not to be a revisionist here, but, you know, we made fun of WCW 99 and 2000 and 2001 until they were sold. Dude, they were pulling double what Raw pulls now. And they had matches that, you know, were awesome at that point. Yes, creatively, they had some silliness, but, dude, go back and watch some of that stuff on the Peacock. Go back and watch some WCW Nitro. They had some talent there. They had some. I mean, yes, they really blew it when they brought Seven out and Dustin Rhodes says, "Hell, this is stupid," and just took all his stuff off. They had stuff there. I mean, they had Tank Abbott dancing the 3 count.
Yeah. What will help is, you know, at Money in the Bank, when Matthew to watch for 2021, Matt Riddle wins Money in the Bank. That's going to help tremendously, man. People are going to love seeing him.
Who's it going to help? It's one person, one segment.
Yep. Oh, it's gonna pop the crowd, man. It's gonna be, you're gonna see Riddle on your TV week after week carrying his briefcase. He's probably
we already seen him though riding a scooter.
Yeah, well now he's gonna have to figure out
Matthew. He's the Cameron Grimes of Raw right now. He doesn't need it.
He's gonna have to figure out how to affix his briefcase to his scooter.
He is the Cameron Grimes of the Raw brand. He does not need that Money in the Bank. I'm sorry to make it sound bad for you, but he doesn't need it.
No, that's a valid argument. That's a valid argument. I don't disagree with that. But there's a lot of things, Meathead, that I don't need, but I want. And Matt Riddle winning Money in the Bank's one of them.
Fair enough. Well, that's what we have. I mean, you know, you could make an underhanded shot like Britt Baker did, you know, about running shows in Saudi Arabia. You know, I took exception to that. You know, I heard Bully Ray say something on the Busted Open show, and I don't listen often, but I caught it. He's 100% right when it comes to, you know, who can talk crap about WWE? Cody can. Jericho can. You know, Christian can.
Right.
People that had been there. The ones that had never been there, Eddie Kingston, running his jaw after a match about WWE, or Britt Baker, who's never spent her time there, should probably not say stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you got to look at it for what it is, man. It's shots across the bow, trying to get people like us talking.
I don't want to talk about it. Just like, anytime you had a color commentator, a la Dennis Miller or Tony Kornheiser, who, never played the game, giving me color analysis of a game that's going on. I don't accept it.
Dude, if you want some awesome color analysis, you need to go to King of the Ring. I think it's actually King of the Ring 96. I can't think of his name, dude. You'd probably know him, especially if it's in your neck of the woods. But the guy that was on the guest commentator for a while, and all he did was ask, how much does he weigh? How much does that guy weigh? How much does he weigh? I think it's 96. It might be 95, but you need to look up whatever King of the Ring is and just listen to the show. Count how many times he says, how much does he weigh?
You know what that reminds me of? Dave Matthews from the movie Just Go With It. Do you know what I'm talking about? Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, and Dave Matthews was married to Nicole Kidman in the movie. Kept going,
No.
How tall do you think that guy is? How much do you think he weighs? Well, Dave Matthews just wanted to pick up coconuts with his butt.
Yeah, people want to know.
Fantastic. Well, Matthew, we're cutting it short here today, pal. We ran 40 yesterday. We ran 30 the night before. I mean, I'm tapped out. We've done all the news that's worth talking about. It's the end of the week. We're going to get you guys out of here, get you to the weekend. I know there's a big UFC match tomorrow night. Conor McGregor. Maybe he shows up to SummerSlam. If he loses tomorrow, would you expect to see him possibly show up at SummerSlam?
It would generate some news.
Mayweather's fighting the same night as SummerSlam.
Conor McGregor versus R-Truth for the 24/7 title.
Promoting his whiskey while he's rapping down to the ring.
Exactly.
For Matthew Thomas, I'm the Manly Call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you guys Monday morning. So long, everyone.